Hi, friends. This is Becky Lewis in Central Indiana. Today is December the 8th, 2019. I know it's been a very, very long time, friends, going on 9 months. And I want to say I'm very sorry that it's been so long since I could come on. I just absolutely could not come on and do this any sooner for numerous reasons, and some of which I'll explain as much as I can. But basically, friends, I had absolute uh, beyond healing crisis. And not only that, my condition was worsening a great deal, and I could not function properly. And then our internet was so slow that even in like 2 minutes of video recording was taking like many hours. So I'm gonna have to take this to the library to upload it or something. But anyway, friends, it's been so long, and I just wanted to update you as to what happened, okay? But before I go any further, I just want to say I am not a doctor. I am not a master herbalist. I am not a specialist at anything, but what I am is a person in healing from 55 years from premature birth until now of dealing with extreme medical issues. And from the day of my premature birth, I was given tetracycline, which is a really, really nasty antibiotic that they know now never to give children. And I had that twice a day, every day, until I was 11. So it ripped my body to shreds. It caused me all kinds of extreme grief, stomach and intestines, and just all kinds of infections, which I then had to turn around and go get more penicillin shots on top of what I was already taking. So this led into spastic colon and just all kinds of things. And then they drugged me starting from the age of 13 or 14, I believe. And I started taking medications for that, including uh, yeah, I can't think right now. But anyway, it was some harsh stuff, especially for a young teenager. Oh, I was on Gaviscon, Tagamet, and Elavil at 14 years old, 14 and 15 and 16, uh, and 17, I believe, all the way to, yeah, close to graduation. But I quit taking it because it was messing my head so bad. But anyway, friends, it's been a long journey for me for extreme illnesses, and the endometriosis was excruciating, horrible stuff. And there's a lot of people out there who live with multiple issues in their body, like I have my whole life. And so I don't have a lot of time, friends, because I really I have to end this video by 15 minutes because the Foraging for Life Healing by Nature channel doesn't allow me to upload more than that. So I might have to make a part 2, but I want to tell you what happened. And this is one of the main reasons why I haven't had the courage to come forward, friends, on top of everything else and all my illness and my weakness and inability to cope and function and all that. I absolutely fell apart. And what happened was, since my last video where I was starting my herbs, I was carrying on and taking those herbs, which was actually a carry forward of already having been on herbs. I had been doing this for like a year already, and taking herbs and doing the fruit and green drinks. Okay, so I was in the process of cleaning out a lot of toxins and had a lot of stuff moving to move out through the body. And then in the process of my for my next meeting that was upcoming with my counselor, I was given notice 1 week before my meeting that my counselor was not going to be there and wouldn't be there for like a month. So I rescheduled. And because I did still have some herbs at that point and I was still working on those, so I went ahead and rescheduled. But then when that month came up, uh, my counselor still wasn't back and wasn't coming back at all. She was no longer there. So then I had to reschedule again with a whole new counselor, which took them another month to even get me in. And by then I had already been out of herbs. I was a complete basket case as it was. And this is something I'll discuss if I don't have time in another video. The dangers of doing detox. If you are an incredibly toxic person who has had a lot of sickness and illness like me, and decades of medications. If you haven't seen my video, Exit Ramp, the prison of hell that is medication, I highly recommend that, friends. I got off of over 20 years of OxyContin, Norco, methadone, fentanyl, trazodone, trying to get me to sleep. Friends, it has been such a journey. So I'm not a professional anything, but I'm a professional survivor. So, and I got to tell you, friends, as long as it's been since I've made a video, I want you to understand, and I have never lied to you in any of my videos. I have always spoken from my heart and to the best of my ability, to the best of my knowledge, the full, complete truth. There are times I am certain now that I completely misspoke and didn't know what I was saying, but at the time, I promise you, it was every single thing I knew from my heart. And I would not lie to you, and I didn't wait almost 9 months to come back to give you a line of crap. Okay, so I need to get on with this and tell you what happened, friends. So here's the deal. After I had been on all those herbs and all that stuff and waited literally 3 months for a meeting, then when it was time for the meeting, I was right in the middle. Our cat was having a crisis. I was on the phone with the vet. We had, I had the heart pounding, crying stuff going on because I was, about to lose my kitty and 19 and a half years and stuff. And so I was already in that panic situation, wasn't sleeping, can't eat, dealing with my sickness, having been without all the herbs and having stopped the herbs. Okay, this is really important. You don't just take a whole bunch of herbs and go that amount of time and then just stop herbs, okay, because that's the stuff that's pulling it out of you and keeping it moving. And if you just stop the herbs and worse yet, go back to the bad food, the food that's not good for your body, especially if you're in critical healing, um, let's just say it's a really bad day for a long, long time, and you're not sure if you're going to survive. Okay, so please be extremely cautious with that, and I will get into that more later, but here's what happened, friends. I was a basket case when it was time for the meeting, and on top of that, for the first time ever in over a year of having meetings and doing herbs, I was actually late for the meeting because I realized it while I was on the phone with the vet what time it was, so I was already in panic mode. So by the time I had this new counselor I wasn't expecting, had no idea it was a male, not that I have a problem with males, I just wasn't expecting it, so I was caught off guard. I was already in panic mode. I was already having been in tears. So I was a basket case. And this poor guy had no idea what my deal was, because I can tell you I was flipping out. I mean, I was literally flipping the frick out. Okay? I mean, bad. And I just can't even begin to tell you here and now because of the time. But friends, I just wanted to tell you, update what happened, and what made it worse was that all along, and I didn't know, and my husband will attest to this, and God love him because he has taken care of me through all that 20 years that I was so completely drugged so bad on the OxyContin and Norco especially that I really didn't even properly do my own job as a mother. I didn't really raise my kids and do all those things that people do for their kids, and bake cakes and cookies and have friends and parties and this and that, because I was just already always so messed up. So before I even came to YouTube in like 2014, I had been a complete drugged individual for 20 years, like really, really drugged, laid out. Okay, and so this is where I'm coming from. But anyway, so God love my husband. He's a really pretty hardcore person. And he got a little uptight about how sick I was and how bad things were and what was going on and how upset I was getting. And had been making, I guess, some calls there, but mostly writing emails to them that were not very nice. And I didn't find out about any of them until I would maybe find out about one, and then I would freak out because I'm in this like freaked out state of mind with all this weird stuff coming out of me. And so, but anyway, friends, it's such a long story. I don't have time to tell you in such a short time, but my husband basically, in so many words, got me kicked out of being counseled through Dr. Morse's office. And long story short, needless to say, it wasn't a good day in the Lewis household for a long time. Um, because, in my opinion, he had just killed me, and it just, I was in this bizarre state of mind and really freaking out, and was a very, very sick individual, and very weak, and 68 pounds. So, but anyway, friends, long story short, my husband did find my original counselor that had left, my precious Marcy. God love her. I love you, Marcy. Bless your heart. Thank you for everything. And friends, I will do more updates if my channel is allowed to stay up. YouTube is taking down healing or like health channels and stuff like that, and I don't know which of any of my material might be taken down, if not my whole channel or whatnot. So I just want to tell you I love you, and I want to thank you all very, very, very much for every moment you've ever put into my videos. I love you from my heart. And I promise you, friends, if I do ever come out with a video, it will be the absolute truth, and I will continue this story because I'm back on my herbs now, and starting to get a little bit, going back towards the health. It got really, really bad, so I have a lot to make up for because I absolutely crashed. And Dr. Morse's office, if you want to understand, friends, is a health club. They are not a doctor's office. They do not have to put up with people calling and being nasty. And, my husband learned a good lesson from that, and we got through a lot, and we're growing. But, friends, it's just something to be aware of. If you have someone in your life that doesn't agree with what you're doing and isn't supporting what you're doing, it can be very difficult. You have to be very strong and determined. So my alarm's going off. That means I absolutely have to go. Friends, I love you. I love you so much, and I have so, so much to share with you. I just have to find a way to do it. Oh, yeah, last thing, real quick. Friends, please comment if you want, but I just cannot type. I just cannot keep up with comments. I can type some, but it wears me out, and it hurts my neck and skull really bad. So if you want to comment, I'm going to answer comments on videos, and I'm also going to leave an email below. And if you want to connect with me on email, I will give you a phone number that we can talk on, or you can give me your number and I will call you from my cell. So anyway, friends, I love you, and I hope you have a fantastic day. And I'm so happy to be back to talk to you. Please give me a shout. Okay, friends. Bye for now. Oh, yeah. I can't see very well either, by the way, and having a hard time seeing my screen, so I might have to. Okay, bye for now. Got it. Love you.